What is your name? What do you teach? And how long have you been teaching for?
My name is Jesse Deese. I teach high school band, which includes the marching band, the pep band, the concert band, the jazz band. And then I also oversee the middle school and elementary bands. And this is my third school year teaching. I've been teaching for 2.5 years.
How old were you when you decided that you wanted to become a band director?
I was in 8th grade when I think I made that choice to become a teacher in general, and then I think maybe beginning of 9th grade where I decided it would be music. Yeah.
What are a couple things that you consider when choosing music for the jazz and concert band?
The first thing is what can we play? So what are the abilities of the people in the band? And then the next thing is what is something that is going to be enjoyable to listen to? And so there's a lot of things that go in that. So pretty much you want a slow piece anytime you do something. I think it's nice to be able to express and demonstrate the beautiful things that the band's able to do. And then you kind of want to start and finish with the quicker piece, something that's high energy, almost like when you write a story or you write a paper. They talk about attention grabbers. You want to start with an attention grabber, but also leave with a really good piece that people are going to go, wow, that was a good group, or that was a good performance, or that's a good band. And so that's typically how I try to end the concerts as well.
What are some things you enjoy about directing a concert and jazz band?
I think it's the growth over time. Like, how did we start this piece? How did we feel in the middle of learning it when we were like, "There's no way we're gonna get this good"? And then how do we feel at the end of it when we did it and we accomplished it and it was better than what we thought it would be? I think that journey is really neat as a human to get better, but to see like young people feel that too is kind of nice. Music's not like an instant gratification type thing as a performer. When you listen to it, it kind of is, but when you perform it, it's not. It's hard, and some days feel way harder than other days, and it's just that journey to the end and that overcoming that sense of defeat sometimes to get there.
Were you in a concert band or jazz band when you were in high school?
When I was in high school, I was in all the bands we offered. So concert band we had. Some years we had 2. It just depended on how big the program was. And so I think 1 or 2 years I played in the second band because I wanted to. So I did both of them. And then our jazz band was during the school day. So I was in that class as well. In the South, we don't really do pep band, so I didn't have a pep band to join, so I wasn't in that.
So, what instrument did you play when you were in high school?
I was a French horn player for concert band, which tied into mellophone, kind of the same thing for marching band. For jazz band, I played trumpet because there were no French horns in jazz band.
What do you enjoy about specifically directing the jazz band?
The jazz band is nice because the people in the jazz band care so much about music. There's a lot of different feelings about band and the work ethic needed, but jazz band's nice because it's people who want to do even more than they're doing now. And they're some of the best musicians in our group. They're some of the best attitudes in our program. And so just working with the jazz band and those people that feel that way towards music is really, really enjoyable.
So, since you think that it's enjoyable and a lot more work goes into jazz band, do you think that more concert band kids should join the jazz band?
I do. One, because extra practice is good. Anytime you're reading more music and practicing that, you're going to get better, even if it's not on the instrument you play. It's like when you were a kid and they made you read a book all the time. It's because they wanted to get you better at reading. That's the way music is. The more music you can read, the better you're going to get at it. And so this year we tried to start the second jazz band is what I wanted to do. But we only had like 2 or 3 kids that mentioned wanting to do it. And it wasn't enough to fully fill out that second jazz band group.
So, what are some things that the jazz band would have to accomplish to get a high rating at a competition?
Jazz is really about style a lot. When we do concert band, a lot of the times groups can get by, right notes, right rhythms, they're going to get a high rating. Jazz band, you got to have right notes, right rhythms, and you have to have style. You have to have those articulations that define it. And they've got to be really crisp or really well done because there's so few people doing it. You can't hide in jazz band. So you have to, like, each person has to know their part and pull their own weight and do what the music calls for you to do.
So, like, if someone were to mess up on one thing, it's much more noticeable than if it was in the concert band?
Correct, because typically it's one on a part. I mean, there's one alto one, there's one alto two, and that's kind of how it is. And the judge is going to be able to tell trombone 3's not playing, and I think they're supposed to. They're going to be able to hear bass trombone just missed their note. Because the chords, while the chords are really difficult, they do make sense in the jazz structure of how music sounds. So you'll be able to know if there's a note happening in there that probably shouldn't be happening.
All right, thank you for your time.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm.